I don't know how well this is going to work out, but I'm recording the screen from my laptop and I'm recording my voice directly through the built-in microphones of my laptop. I don't even know where those microphones are, but I'm hoping my voice is being recorded. But just for fun, I wanted to show you my technique for editing video that was shot from two different cameras at the same time. And there are so many different ways you could do this. The way I do it is probably the worst way, the most difficult way, but somehow this is the method that I stumbled into. But anyway, what's going on here is right here, you can see my cursor on the screen, my pink pointer. I made it pink so that you could see it more easily. But I've got this video track right here, and that's me climbing up a hill at Bukit Dinding, and this is being recorded from GoPro number 1, and I have GoPro number 1 clamped to a tree branch, actually a tree root. So I'm filming myself from a distance, and I'm recording audio on this GoPro using the Rode Wireless Go microphone. But I also had a GoPro around my neck on a neck mount, and that, if you follow my pointer, is this video over here. So if I move the playhead, you'll see that this GoPro is recording at the same time, but it's recording basically from a chest mount. I have it wrapped around my neck, but technically, yeah, it's basically the perspective of a chest mount. And these two GoPros are recording at the same time. Now, I've already synced them up. There's one stage before this where you take these two video clips and you sync them using the audio waveform. And I've already done that just to make it a little bit simpler. So let's run through this first video clip and I'll show you what it looks like. So I've attached the GoPro to a tree root right on the trail, and now I'm filming myself as I climb up. So what I would normally do as an editor is I watch this entire clip so I can remember what it looks like and think about which part I want to keep and which part I want to get rid of. So I get all the way to the top of this section of the trail, and then I disappear from view, and that's the end of that clip. And now I will watch the entire clip from the other GoPro, the one from my chest harness, and this is what it looks like. And I have the audio for this one muted because this is the main audio from my other GoPro. I don't use the audio from this GoPro, so I have it muted. That's why you're not hearing anything. So this is the view from GoPro number 2. I find it quite an interesting view because it really shows what the trail was like. And then I get up to the top and I turn the corner and I'm out of view of the other GoPro. So now I remember that in my head. Basically, that's what the two GoPros look like. And then I take this clip and put it on top of this one. And I've already synced them. So they're already synced, so I don't need to do that. But then what I need to do is go back and forth from this clip to this clip to try and make it visually interesting. So what I normally do is I take camera B, camera number 2, and I take the opacity, which is basically whether it's invisible or not. And right now opacity is at 100%, so it's 100% visible, and I'll dial that down to 0. So even though it's here on the timeline, you can't see it. And if I export this video, nothing appears from it, because I want to start with this view to show what it is I'm doing. So now I start to play the video. So there I go, I'm starting to climb. And then right here, maybe, I've established the scene, but now I want to switch to camera number 2. So again, this may be the worst way to do it, but what I do is I cut it here, You can do that with a keyboard, Control B. So now I've cut it into two pieces. This piece still has 0% opacity, so it's 100% invisible. And now I select this one and I increase the opacity to 100. So now we're seeing video from this GoPro. So let's start over from the beginning, see what that looks like. I'm climbing up, grab hold of the rope, and now we switch to here. So now we see the view from here. I'm climbing. I like this view, so I'm going to hold on it for a little bit longer. Maybe right here, got around the tree, and then at this point, maybe right here, I'm going to switch back. So I cut it again, and now I take this video clip and I reduce the opacity to 0. So now we see the wide shot again. Then maybe this is, I waited too long, but we'll see what this looks like. Let's start over again. Climbing up. Switching to this view. I like that a lot. And now we'll be switching back to the wide shot. Shows me up there. Yeah, that's not that bad, right? And then I go around the corner. And that will be... because I don't really remember what comes next, but I might switch back again at this point because I'm out of view of the one GoPro right there. So maybe it makes more sense to switch back to this one here. So let's cut it again, and now we take this clip and we change it to 100. So now we see this part at the very end. I'm at the top and I turn around. Okay, so let's go to full screen. Control F gets us to full screen, and now let's watch the whole clip.
Up like this.
There I go. Yeah, I don't mind that. Climbing up the rope, Indiana Jones. Switching here to the other view. And then I go around the corner out of sight, and we go back one more time to here. I think that'll work. It depends on what the next clip shows. Because if I remember right, at this point, of course I had to go back down at this point. You don't see that in the video, but of course now I had to turn around, go all the way back down, get GoPro number 1, pick it up, and then carry it all the way back up the hill again. But in terms of the final video, at this point I think I turn to the camera and I start speaking, talking about the trail, talking about climbing up, things like that. So I'm going to leave it this way for now, and then depending on what the next clip shows, I'll either leave it like this or I'll change it. So anyway, that is basically how I do it these days, switching back and forth from one view to the next view to this view and then back again. I essentially take camera number 2, GoPro number 2, and then I adjust the opacity from 0 to 100%, and that's how I switch back and forth from the main timeline to track number 2. So that's it. Thought that might be interesting for some people out there.